The Upside Down is stirring again, and the teaser trailer for Stranger Things Season 5 just dropped, sending shockwaves through Hawkins and beyond. Packed with eerie glimpses, emotional callbacks, and edge-of-your-seat suspense, the trailer teases a final chapter that promises to be both epic and heartbreaking. From scary fights to secret hints, we're breaking down every must-see moment you can't afford to miss, and just in case you missed some parts of it, here's our deep dive into the beginning of the end. The teaser trailer jumps right back into the eerie tension of Hawkins, starting with a familiar face, Steve Harrington, who's up on the WSQK van at the radio station, methodically rotating the satellite dish. It's a quiet moment, but one loaded with implication. If you've been watching, you know sound messes with Vecna, so this makes it seem like Steve and the crew are trying a new plan, using radio waves to fight the Upside Down. The use of a radio tower isn't just practical, it's symbolic. It's a desperate attempt to amplify hope in a town drowned in darkness, but that glimmer of hope doesn't last long. Later in the trailer, we see the same tower shrouded in thick, twisting tendrils, Vecna's calling card, hinting that the monster not only caught wind of their plan, but struck back with violent fury. We don't know if it worked or backfired, but Hawkins is a war zone again, and the fight's not just in the basements and woods anymore, it's in the sky now. One of the most haunting, and emotionally charged, moments in the teaser trailer is the glimpse of Eddie Munson's defaced tombstone. The words, "Burn in Hell," are crudely spray-painted across it, a jarring image that stirs anger, sadness, and a bitter sense of injustice. Even after he died trying to save everyone, Eddie remains misunderstood, vilified, and demonized by the very town he died trying to protect. It's like, the same ignorance and fear that messed with him when he was alive is still going on. It's a total bummer that Hawkins never really knew him, or maybe just didn't want to. But it's not just about feeling bad for him, it's also like something out of a book. The tombstone thing is super similar to the end of that movie Carrie, where her grave says, "Carrie White burns in hell." Like Eddie, Carrie was an outsider, a teen outcast mocked, feared, and pushed to a tragic breaking point by a town that refused to understand her. This parallel feels anything but accidental. The Duffer Brothers are huge Stephen King fans, and you can see his influence all over Stranger Things. From its small-town paranoia and supernatural horror to its coming-of-age themes and group of misfit heroes. The Carrie reference is a nod to the horror master, but it also hammers home a big theme of the show, how society loves to pick on anyone who's different. Eddie's grave, vandalized and rejected, becomes a visual metaphor for what happens when fear triumphs over truth. Everyone's hoping for some crazy twist to bring him back, but this teaser trailer moment just reminds us how brutal and real it is to be misunderstood in the world of Stranger Things. Rock music has always been more than just a nostalgic backdrop in Stranger Things, it's been a character in its own right, pulsing through the veins of the story, reflecting the emotional stakes, the rebellious spirit of the main characters, and the ever-present tension between innocence and darkness. From the creepy theme song synths to Eddie Munson's epic, Master of Puppets, solo in the Upside Down, the music's a lifesaver, a weapon, a battle cry. Season 5 is totally keeping that up, with the teaser trailer using the super dramatic "Child in Time" by Deep Purple, a song that's as deep as the show itself. Originally released on Deep Purple's 1970 album In Rock, Child in Time isn't just a classic hard rock track, it's an epic, emotionally charged anthem steeped in Cold War anxieties. It was written during a time when the threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large over everyday life, so the song's all about fear, the end of the world, and the senseless destruction that follows when humanity loses control. It starts off quiet and sad, then builds up to a crazy loud part, kind of like how Stranger Things goes from a creepy mystery to a full-on supernatural war. In the context of Season 5, Child in Time feels like a deliberate and poignant choice. Its lyrics, "Sweet child in time," you'll see the line, echo the loss of innocence that defines the series' core characters. They started out as kids on bikes and are now, like, battle-worn heroes fighting some world-ending bad guy. Plus, the song fits the trailer's vibe perfectly: soldiers, dark skies, Hawkins about to get wrecked. Vecna coming back isn't just a personal problem, it's a global one, just like the Cold War the song was about in the first place. The Duffer Brothers, they're geniuses, using music to make you feel more and add layers of meaning. Child in Time doesn't just sound good, it means something. It puts Season 5 in this bigger picture of fear, strength, and hoping the world, even a messed up place like Hawkins, can still be saved. When audiences last saw Max Mayfield, she was hanging by a thread, physically broken, emotionally shattered, and teetering on the edge of death after falling victim to Vecna's wrath. In one of Stranger Things' most harrowing scenes, Max's limbs were twisted and her eyes glazed over as Vecna gripped her mind and body with brutal force. Even though Eleven showed up just in time to get Max's heart going again, it was too late. Her body was left battered and she was in a coma at the end of Season 4. Her fate is uncertain and her future is clouded by grief, guilt, and trauma. As the teaser trailer for Season 5 begins to peel back the curtain on where things stand now, it becomes clear that Max's condition hasn't improved much, well, at least not at first. She's still out of it, stuck between life and death. But she's got Lucas, her loyal and heartbroken companion, remains by her side, gently tending to her in a hospital room that has clearly become a second home. There's this one scene where he stays by her side with a radio, he's playing Running Up That Hill, that song that saved her before. It's a sound that's become sacred, a melodic lifeline between her and the world she left behind. Maybe, just maybe, it's actually working. Toward the end of the trailer, eagle-eyed fans catch a fleeting but powerful glimpse: Max appears to be awake. Her eyes are open, and she looks scared but aware, which means she might still be fighting for herself. We don't know if she's back for good, or if it's part of something worse. But in that 1 second, there's a little bit of hope. Max Mayfield, the brave skater girl who's been through a lot, might have another chance to fight Vecna. They're back, and they're just as vicious as ever. Remember those Demodogs from Season 2 of Stranger Things? Well, they're back, and they're scarier, angrier, and maybe even more organized than ever. It's a trip down memory lane for us, but also kinda creepy. These dog-like monsters, the Demogorgon's kids, have always been some of the grossest and most relentless things from the Upside Down. We got a sneak peek of them in Season 1 with the Demogorgon, but they really showed up in Season 2. They were terrifying killers, but then, weirdly, we felt a little bad for them because of Dustin Henderson's connection to that baby Demodog he called Dart. That time Dustin tried to befriend Dart was actually a pretty cool moment in the whole Upside Down story. It showed that even the scariest monsters might have some feelings or be loyal to someone. But, Dart's story didn't end well, since he was really on the Mind Flayer's side. Those Demodogs were the Flayer's attack dogs, coming up from the tunnels and just ripping everything apart with their sharp teeth. They were like a sign of how strong and dangerous the Upside Down was getting. You couldn't talk to them, you could only try to stay alive. So, with Season 5 being the big finale, it makes sense those creepy monsters are back. They're in the trailer for a second, but you can't forget it, snarling in the smoke, attacking soldiers, and working together like a team. Their return means something bigger. Vecna, the Mind Flayer, or whoever's running the Upside Down, is using everything it's got. No more hiding or random attacks, the Demodogs are going all in on the fight for Hawkins, back as the main monsters in this crazy war. Bringing them back isn't just for thrills, it's a tribute to the show's history. They're like the scary roots of Stranger Things, that slow-burn fear and pure terror from the first seasons. Having them in the last season is a reminder of where it all started, even as everything's building to a finale that's gonna be wilder, more emotional, and scarier than ever. Even though Jurassic Park came out in 1993, a few years after Stranger Things takes place, the Season 5 trailer totally has a nod to that super famous scene. the one with the velociraptors in the kitchen. In this new version, the predators aren't prehistoric, they're Demodogs, and they're just as terrifying. The new scene's like a mirror image, the low growls, the heavy breathing, the quiet before the chase starts. The Demodogs are creeping around what looks like a dark place, their claws tapping on the floor as they hunt. It's a super tense moment, and if you've seen Spielberg's movie, you'll totally get it. This tribute is more than just a fun Easter egg. It really gets to the heart of the nostalgia that's always been what makes Stranger Things so good. The show's great at mixing new stories with those awesome pop culture moments from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, making something that feels both new and familiar. It's also a loving nod to one of the show's biggest inspirations, director Steven Spielberg. Everyone knows how much the Duffer Brothers are into his work, especially movies like E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and of course, Jurassic Park. Spielberg's talent for mixing wonder, suspense, and feels into genre stories really set the stage for what Stranger Things tries to do. In one of the more suspenseful moments of the Season 5 trailer, Karen Wheeler and her youngest daughter Holly are seen submerged underwater, holding their breath as a Demogorgon prowls nearby. It's a classic hide-or-die horror thing, but if you've been watching for a while, it might remind you of Season 2, when they showed how the monsters don't really like water. That moment came when Bob Newby, in a desperate attempt to help his friends escape Hawkins' lab, activated the building's sprinkler system. The Demodogs, in the middle of attacking, freaked out and ran away. They didn't really go into it back then, but fans always remembered that. Now, with Karen and Holly using water as a defense, the show might be bringing that weakness back in a bigger way. This sequence also deepens the stakes for the Wheeler family, who have largely remained on the fringes of the show's darkest threats. Karen, who's usually a bit detached but still cares, finally steps up to protect Holly. She's strong, scared, and totally fierce as a mom, shielding her from a monster she probably never thought was real. It's a super strong image, two regular people using the only thing they have, water, to fight off something unbelievably deadly. If the monsters still hate water, this could be the start of a new plan for the characters in Season 5. And if not, if the creature changes or doesn't care, it's still a scary picture of survival, holding your breath, hope fading, danger lurking. Either way, it's a moment that mixes feelings with the show's history, which Stranger Things is known for. Let me know in the comments which moment are you looking forward to the most. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Stranger Things content with us on Strangers Freaks.